Hello, Sarah of SEK Handmade here, and you guys, today I am so excited to introduce you to the Bristol Collection. As always, I want to tempt you to stick around until the end because I have a special discount code for you all as a little thank you for watching. All right, let's talk a little bit about the inspiration for this gorgeous pattern collection. Did you know that I first started out as a knitwear designer? Yes, I started out as a knitter, and though I had learned to crochet by the time I became a designer, I started off designing knitting patterns. As I fell more and more in love with crochet, I had this wild idea that I would be a knit and crochet designer. And what I would do was I would design knitting and crocheting patterns that matched each other. I guess I just wanted to be the Velvet Acorn, which, I mean, what a thing to aspire to. She has stunning patterns. As I got going though, I noticed myself moving away from knitting patterns and more into crochet patterns. But I still have a love for stitches that I call twin stitches. Those are stitches that match each other in knitting and crochet. The stitch pattern that the Bristol Collection is made out of is one of those twin stitches. It's called the moss stitch or the linen stitch, and that exists both in knitting and crochet. Let me tell you a little secret though. It is so much easier to work the moss stitch in crochet. So I have loved this gorgeous texture for a long time. And when I saw a submission call for a magazine last year, the thing that came to my mind was the moss stitch. Unfortunately, the design I submitted was not selected for the magazine, but that got the moss stitch back in the front of my mind, and it made me want to go ahead and make a whole collection of this gorgeous stitch. So funny story, as I was coming up with a name for this collection, I thought it would be cute, since it's the moss stitch, to call it the name of a moss. But my brain does this funny thing sometimes where it reads words as I think they should be and not as they are. So as I was looking through names of moss, I saw one that my brain said was Bristol moss. And I thought, what a gorgeous name. And so I named my collection the Bristol Collection. Turns out, as I looked back on that, it did not say Bristol, it said Bristle. But I was so attached to the name Bristol already, I just left it be and continued on. So after I had messed up, but already committed to the name, I dove right into working all 3 tiers of my tiered pattern system into the gorgeous moss stitch. Tier number 1 starts with a gorgeous cozy. This is worked flat. It is super simple stitch pattern, and it's the perfect way to practice and learn the moss stitch. The moss stitch is made up of single crochets and chains, so even really new crocheters can dive right into this pattern. My tier 2 is a cowl, and you guys, I am so excited about this construction. The cowls are worked side to side, so they're completely flat, and you work around and then increase to a point in the center and then decrease back out to wrap around the rest of your neck. This is so much fun because it's like a bandana, but you don't have to fuss with anything. You just throw it over your head. I really enjoy a nice tall cowl, but I know not everybody likes something so close to their neck. So the cowl pattern also includes instructions for a wider cowl and a shorter cowl that still has the same gorgeous point. The tier 3 pattern is, of course, a hat. And you guys, as always, I've gone all in on the hat. It has 4 versions: slouchy and fitted, brimmed and brimless, and this really unique construction allows the stitches to lay in the same direction as the cowl and the cozy, but still have a fitted top to it. So this is a flat hat, say that 5 times fast, a flat hat. It's worked completely flat and then seamed at the top. And a special construction allows the top of the hat to come in and be fitted rather than just being a tube that gets cinched around the top. I have to confess, that kind of construction of a hat really drives me bonkers. I hate having to put a pom-pom on the top of the hat. And when there's that much fabric squished up at the top, I really feel like you almost have to put a pom-pom on it to have it look nice. But that is not the case with this flat hat. It is shaped and fitted at the top, so it will fit you perfectly without a bunch of extra bulkiness on the top of your head. So let's talk about the gorgeous yarn that I used in this collection. I used 2 types of yarn and I'm absolutely in love with them both. Starting with the Tier 1 cozy patterns, I worked them both in one of my most favorite yarns, Malabrigo Rios. These two are really gorgeous colors. This guy is Sabiduria, which is color 136, and this is Liquid Amber, which is color 618. I really love both of these colors. For my Tier 2 patterns, I stuck with my love of Liquid Amber, and then I had the opportunity to work with a really fantastic yarn. This is by Sweet Pea and Sparrow, and this is her non-superwash base. You guys, I've really had an interest lately in non-superwash yarn. The environmentalist in me loves the idea of not having the yarns be chemically treated. And I think that generally speaking, we think of non-superwash yarns as super rustic, but I have to tell you guys, this yarn from Sweet Pea and Sparrow is anything but rustic. It is the softest non-superwash yarn I have ever felt. It was amazing to work with and I just can't more highly recommend it. Of course, the Malabrigo Rios was excellent to work with as well, and I love these colors. It's just so incredibly gorgeous. Of course, I had to have a matching set, and so I have a hat in the non-superwash by Sweet Pea and Sparrow and the Malabrigo Rios. Malabrigo Rios is 100% superwash merino and it contains 210 yards per 100 grams. Kind of a light worsted weight. The Sweet Pea and Sparrow is right around there too with its 100% non-superwash base and 218 yards per 100 grams. For this gorgeous yarn, I chose the colorway Into the Woods. This is just such a stunning green that has so much nuance to it. See how almost every stitch is a different color? It's really stunning. I just checked Sweet Pea and Sparrow's website and this is still available for pre-order. So if you love this colorway, go snag some now. If you're watching this too far in the future, I can't guarantee that it'll still be there. But I do highly recommend Sweet Pea and Sparrow's yarn, and so you should still go check it out. All right, let's talk hooks. You guys, this collection keeps it super simple. The cowl, the cozies, and every version of the hat only needs a US H8 or 5.0mm hook. Let's talk customization. The moss stitch is only a 2-stitch repeat, so it makes it a pretty simple stitch to increase or decrease the size of any of these items, which means that for the cozy, you could make it smaller if you need it for a smaller cup size. You could make it larger if you want it to go around a mug or even a pint of ice cream. It is still hot here. I could use a pint of ice cream. You can also easily adjust the height of this to fit a bigger hand. All the tips for customizing are in the cozy pattern. It might feel a little intimidating to customize the cowl, but between these two sizes, I think you'll find something you really like. Also, it's not that hard to increase the number of rounds or decrease the number of rounds to adjust for the perfect circumference. You can see there is a flat portion along the back here that you could easily add or subtract from. Add to or subtract from, how about that, to make this just the right circumference based on what you find comfortable. It being worked back and forth means that to add or subtract height, you're just going to want to work a different number of stitches. Again, totally explained in the pattern how you can go about doing that so that you can have a cowl that you absolutely love to wear. Because of the construction of the hat, adjusting the circumference is a little more challenging. The great news is that this is a super stretchy fabric. Not all crochet stitches are. So working their circumference as is allows for a really wide range of fits, and adjusting the height is easy and totally explained in the pattern. All right, let's talk styling the Bristol collection. I highly recommend styling your cozy with a handmade mug. I love this handmade ceramic to-go mug, and I'll put a link to where I purchased this in the show notes below. Of course, I'm joking. You can put your cozy around any cup that you'd like. For the cowl, one of its best features is that it's super easy to wear. You can just throw it on, adjust the point to where you want it to lay on your chest, and especially this wider one, just let it hang naturally. It's nice and away from my face and is super, super comfy. If someday though you don't want to show the V, you can also fold that up and end up with a really nice, just regular kind of traditional rectangle cowl as well. With the taller cowl, there are a few more styling options. You can just throw it on over your head, adjust the point to where you'd like it to lay, and let the top squish down to be nice and warm around your neck. Or if you don't like this squished up so close to your face, you can easily fold down the top, which allows this to stand up and away from your neck a little more, which can be really pleasant too. Another fun thing to do would be to fold that out. This is a reversible stitch, so as long as you've woven in your ends nicely, you're not going to see a front and a back per se. So you can easily fold the inside to the outside and almost end up with like a little turtleneck vibe going on here, which is a lot of fun and adds some layers and texture to your outfit. The hats, of course, are wonderful to wear as well. I love a good slouchy version of this hat because there's so many ways to wear it. I just put it kind of at my hairline, scrunch it down at the back, and it gives me a nice slouchy look without it sticking out from the back of my head. I can't do that. I'm not cool enough to wear the hat that just sticks up. I look like an alien. Now, the other reason I love this hat is, again, because this stitch is reversible, I can go ahead and fold up the brim. This gives my hat a double brim, which when it gets really cold here is super nice. It also then tightens the fitted part of the hat nicely to the top of my head. And as you can see, it fits nicely without a lot of bulk on the top of my head. Another way that I love to style a brimless hat is kind of lopsided. Asymmetrical is probably a nicer word for that. So I pull one side down to the top of my ear. I pull the other side lower, and then I start to fold the one side. This one gets just like a little fold up, and then this gets more of a fold. I need to adjust just a little bit so that I'm not completely naked on that ear, but see how it goes from short to wide around there? I just think it's such a fun look. So play with your hat and see what you can come up with. You can wear it all sorts of creative ways, not just the usual throw it on your head. I have a brimmed slouchy hat here too. And again, the reason I love the slouchy hats is that I can put it on with the top nice and high and scrunch it down, or I can still have a brimmed hat by folding the brim back and having a double brim with, oh, there we go, with my brimmed hat. Super duper cozy. I want to give you a special little sneak peek of a third Bristol hat that I made. This coordinates with another pattern that will be coming out much later in the year. I got a little caught on the moss stitch. You're gonna be seeing it quite a bit. So I've designed another special cowl that I designed in conjunction with a yarn shop, and I needed a hat to go with it. And the Bristol hat matches perfectly. So look at this gorgeous bright green version that I have of it. Super duper fun. This is knitted with yarn, and you know how much I love it. The other cowl is in DK weight, and so I just made my regular old Bristol hat in DK weight yarn, and because it stretches so much, it totally works. Totally works. Didn't even gauge swatch. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for sticking around to the end. As a little bonus, thank you. I'd like to offer you a discount code. If you would like to purchase one pattern from the Bristol collection, you can use the code TEXTURE20 to purchase any of the 3 Bristol patterns. If you would like to buy more than one, you can save 25% by using the code COZY25. So purchase 2 or 3 patterns from the Bristol collection and save a little extra. Links are in the description below to all of the things: the yarn, the patterns, the yarn. Just a quick little note about affiliate links. I do have affiliate links to some of the yarn. I encourage you that if you want to purchase this yarn, go to your local yarn shop first. But if you don't have a local yarn shop, I would love it if you would shop through my affiliate links. This just helps me support my business and my family. It doesn't cost you a single thing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you love the Bristol patterns as much as I do. Go snag some patterns, start your fall crochet, and happy crafting!